All right, let's see if this works. I hated to do it that way. Hated to do it that way. All right, Lars, is the sound better? Please tell me it's better on the browser that does not work very well. Man, what a terrible thing to have to do your live though. It ruins so much. All right, well, that's a bummer. I'm going to have this problem fixed here really soon though. I've got new hardware. It's in Arizona and it's on its way back anytime now. So I will have this fixed for good. Who would have thought that the sound would not have worked in Chrome, but it sure didn't. I think it's all the ad blocker stuff running on this thing. All right, much better, but we still lost half our audience. We'll give them a minute. We'll give them a minute. In the meantime, I'll give them just a second. I need to fix this link. Stuff I normally do ahead of time, but I can't because I lost my whole string. I gotta send that. All right, cool. All right, well, we're back to about half our crowd. You just never want a can of live like that. So, but anyway, you got to do what you got to do. All right. Sound is better. Can't present on this one. It's so hard. I don't even like, even the buttons have locked up. Apparently, Microsoft Edge, even the latest, just does not want to work with StreamYard anymore. 84 Cuddy and a Flex. Grand Pito Vic sent me. Howdy. Where can I find the Rusty Nova footage in the intro? I believe that's on Lars' channel, LP94. Hit up Lars and ask him about that. He filmed that. I need a Dart Sport update. Hit the like button again. Yeah. Yeah. Trying to start over does terrible things to a stream. I wish I could have handed it off from one browser or another, but you can't do that. So that's a bummer. Brooke Clark finally telling everybody that Levi finally proposed. I think Brooke is about 84 years old now, but better late than never. Crystal Kilgore is here. Sounds great, though. Yeah, I know. Well, you got to do what you got to do. Couldn't leave it like that with the audio bad. See, I can't hear the bad audio unless somebody tells me. I actually had somebody ask me who hadn't streamed before, said, yeah, but would somebody tell us if something is wrong? I said, you'll have everybody telling you if anything is wrong. Are you kidding? Dizzy Izzy's here, says, good evening, everyone. Yeah, congratulations, boss. Lone Wrench Garage just signed up and 496 subs to go. So he is now registered. He is the second channel into the No Name 500. Lone Wrench Garage. Scrap Iron Racing says checking in. Hi, everyone. Yeah, so at the top of the hour, we're going to have Professor P, Shane Pulido on. He's going to talk about Edelbrock incentives. Thing is there's a lot. I know when he's on, people have a lot of questions about the class that's coming to No Name Nationals that he's involved with. And the great place to ask those questions is on the Wednesday. However, he has a perk that he has worked out with us from the Edelbrock group, and he'll be in top of the hour to talk about that. And it is a worthwhile thing. However, this perk is for channels who are registered for the No Name Nationals. And it's a really cool thing just for you guys. Lars puts up the link for Lone Wrench Garage. Before Colleen even asked, He is on top of things. And Vito tried to subscribe a few times. Yeah, if you try to subscribe an even number of times, you will not. If you try an odd number of times, you will. He's up to 12 or 13. Yeah, that was pretty quick. We're pretty quick. Both of our no-name 500 guys have a long way to go. I know that Tim, Indecisive Garage, was at 47. Lone Wrench, I was his first subscriber. I believe he was at 496 the beginning of the stream. But if you do it and you want to and you put the work in, you'll get there. I've never seen anybody who started at the beginning of the year and didn't quit go from beginning to the end and not make it. I have yet to see that. We actually have a little bit of snow here today. Not much. It's not enough to get the grass completely covered, but this is more than we got last year. Lars is the moderator guru. Lars is an awesome mod. He is fantastic. And something I'll plug while I've got some folks in here. I'm going to be doing a different kind of live stream this Thursday coming up that has nothing to do with cars and nothing to do with the no-name nationals. I'm going to be talking about firearm training and all my experiences in all the years of teaching and training. And it'll be fun and different. So I've already got the thumbnail up for it. I'll be doing that on Thursday at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. So if you want to come out and try to learn some stuff about firearm training, be a good place to do it. It will not be about what all guns you have. It will not be about Second Amendment gun control, none of that stuff. It will be about training. Interesting stuff. But anyway, that'll be this Thursday, 8 Eastern, 7 Central. You're all welcome to come out. I figured I would do that on an off night. It's not everybody here is going to be interested. I fully expect a smaller crowd. That's totally fine. Yeah, I know. Congratulations to Brooke and Levi. That was a long time coming. Brooke has been very patient. And Lars has the link up to that. So, yeah, if you want to come out for that, you're welcome to. Never Done Project says in all of our videos this week, we've been trying to help out with the countdown and getting the word out for No Name Nationals. Yeah. You know, if you tag your video, hashtag No Name Nationals, there's over 16,000 tagged videos for No Name Nationals with the hashtag. Those are just ones that are tagged correctly. But yeah, we appreciate that. I mean, you guys as individual content creators, you're promoting where you're going to be and what you're doing. So. Lone Wrench Garage says, any help appreciated on YouTube setup and development? We're going to be having content creator workshops. We try to have about 3 a year. And we'll try to do the first one here soon, within the month. We'll try to get the first one. And I've been doing them Sunday afternoon. That seems to work out pretty good. And anybody's welcome to come out and join us. But we talk about all kinds of things, like how to get the most out of your content. You know, titles, tags, length of video, production tips, editing tips, things that will help you maximize what you do on YouTube. And Unfinished Project again puts up the link for Lone Wrench Garage. I got to tell you, when a channel is registered, it makes a difference. It tells everybody in the community that you're serious and you're at least putting your money where your mouth is on coming out. And that's a big deal. So for the folks who have done that, you know, we salute them. And do remember too, if your project vehicle doesn't get done, you know, you're still coming to the event. Your registration still includes your spectator admission. So You know, it's not like you lose 90. You just bought an expensive spectator ticket. That's pretty much what you did if you don't wind up bringing your vehicle to participate. But you can bring any vehicle. I mean, bracket your daily if you make your subscribers. And if you don't, still come out and it's a spectator ticket. Stair Canadian Diesel, how's it going, sir? It looks really cold where he is. It looks like you're in just a tent outside in your, negative, 50-degree weather or whatever you're in up there. One-eyed Cat's advising of an 18-wheeler rollover. Okay. Dougster must be somewhere. Maybe. See a link for him. I don't see him in the chat. Max Wedge Dick Dastardly is here. The 6th Street Garage, who I saw just before I had to restart this. A live fireplace in the engine stand with the grandbabies. Okay, that sounds bizarre. Going down in the 20s tonight. Yeah, I don't know what it is here. I just know we got a little bit of snow on the ground. Just a little bit. It's not enough to do anything. Oh, they're spraying brine everywhere out here, though, which I hate. Not even enough to really get on the road. But they still got to spray that stuff to rust your vehicles. Sarah says, it's my hillbilly backwoods poor man workshop is part of my character. If you can stand the temperatures, why not? Interstate 80 is known for a pileup or two, and we got 81 here. It can have its wrecks. I have a friend who runs a heavy wrecker service, and when those trucks turn over, that puts the food on his table. So there's at least one person who has a silver lining of something like that turning over. Hot Rod Guy Garage says 258 days, 3 hours and 47.5 minutes until the best family reunion and drag race in the country. It definitely is a great time, and it's its own entity, and it is our family reunion. The flip-flop wearing steering wheel holders are in trouble tonight. Yep. The one that amazes me are the guys in India or Pakistan, and they're sitting there working in foundries in flip-flops. I'm just like, man, how do you still have all your toes? Colleen says, with all the benefits of an expensive spectator ticket, it's so worth it. Yeah, I mean, just register. Just register, because we got stuff to pay for regardless, right? Like, if we have 130 cars show up or 129, you better believe that overhead. I don't get a break. Dakota's timeout is here. Sayer says it's not really that cold there. It's just -2. Yeah, I guess that's a Indian summer for Canada. T's Good Time Garage all the way out in my neck of the woods. Phone loves to change my words when I hit send. Oh, you're doing autocorrect to post it here. Yeah, that'll do that for sure. Dizzy said, looking to get 8 to 12 inches of snow. Where you are? No, surely not. Land Yacht Garage, how's everyone doing? Don's got his converter upstairs in his house. I believe that. Every torque. I don't have a torque converter that's inside in the warm right now. T, what kind of weather do you have out there where you are? It snows where you are, I'm pretty sure. Grand Pito Vic rents a car. It'll see a lot of airtime. Had a rental Ford Taurus one time that they earned a fee on that one. Max Wage Dick Dastardly was plowing his driveway with a 4-wheelers. He's going to play in the snow. Junkyard D watched my first YouTube video everywhere, and it's the neighbors across the street trying to get their truck in the driveway without plowing the snow, without shoveling it. It was interesting. What's snow? That's back what we had before we started getting warmer these last few years. Lone Ranch Garage is Branson, Missouri. Cool. Wrong English. Land Yacht Garage is I got a 351 Windsor in my kitchen. Right on. My kind of people that would have a 351 in their kitchen. I've had a 340 in the living room. In Pakistan and India, sandals are OSHA approved. If they catch you with steel toes, you're in trouble. Yeah, I don't know. I had a scammer text me about. Let me see if I can find that because it's pretty funny. This scammer texted me about a USPS package that couldn't be delivered due to an invalid zip code. I had so much fun with those people. I asked him to open me and tell me what's in it. I'm going to get creative on that one if he answers back. Tires are important, says the week. Unfinished projects says, I'm really needing a shop. Projects are in the work, but incoming weather and temperatures are throwing a monkey wrench. Well, you can have one if you want one. Street Fox 5.0. How's it going, Street Fox Mike? I laughed and cringed at the same time watching that video. Well, you about ran over. The neighbor was down here. Lanyard Garage says winter sucked in central New Hampshire. It's just cold 5 months out of the year with no snow. Oh, I bet. I've never been to New Hampshire. I used to have New Hampshire's concealed handgun permit, though. And I did that because I needed a couple of other states. I think I did that to get Nevada, actually. Never been there. Colleen says Lanyard's pretty much an amateur because she's got a 318 blockhead, 3 cranks, the dashboard in the living room. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Actually, I've got a 340 intake, 2 carburetors, a set of rocker arms right there. What else I got just within arms? And I'm not counting like hard on the wall or anything. I don't even have carry permits. Well, they still issue them. I mean, you can still get one. It's just a lot of people don't want to get one. But if you travel a lot, that's the thing. You need it for the reciprocity. I need it for that reason alone. I am so high class. I drink my hot chocolate from a Solo cup. Fun fact, you put this stuff in there hot enough, it'll distend the cup. I don't know if you can see that. It'll flare that cup right out. Junkyard D says, I have a 9-inch Ford in my living room. Yep. Jason's garage. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, Jason. Danny Boyd says, I've got a piece of a broken 2000 Corolla connecting rod in the kitchen drawer. That's what percentage of people in this chat have, I'm not going to say car parts in the house because that would be like 90% of y'all. What percentage of people in the house in this chat have had an engine block in their house, in the living quarter? I don't mean like, in a part that's unfinished or unfinished basement. None of that counts. I mean, in the finished part of your house, kitchen, living room, bedroom, who has had an engine block? That's what I want to know. And I have. I know Colleen has. Where is Jethro? He is sleeping, fortunately. He doesn't like the cold any more than I do, but he's asleep, and he will sleep until exactly 9 Eastern or 10 Eastern, 9 Central, whatever. He'll sleep till the end of this live, and if I go into overtime, he tells me, no way. Dakota says at least 7 carburetors in my bedroom. I believe that. That's you and Jed Scott. Yes, I know you don't require one anymore, Lanyard, because you guys have what's called constitutional carry. However, if you travel, there's nothing for other states that do require a permit to recognize. That's one reason you may want to have one. So for me, I would have one for that reason, even if Virginia no longer required it. T has a card in the house. Looks like I need to catch up. Unfinished project says I have furniture in my living room. I would have too much furniture if I had anything more than a couch. Yeah. See, you civilized people are rubbing it in. Buffalo Brian says, when we get lake effect snow up here, we can get anywhere between 2 and 4 feet at any time. I hate going out and shoveling the roof of the house. Oh, man, no way. 750 0 divided by 0. Well, 0 divided by 0 is indeterminable, but I don't know exactly what you mean there. Danny Boyd says, I've had cylinder heads in my apartment. See, this is why I didn't count that, because I know all of you've had carburetor maybe a head or something like that. I mean a block. I wonder who's had an engine block in their house. Make the part appear in question. People mention part. Yeah, I could do that, but I'm like way opposite end of the property from the garage right here. So I have done a few lives from the garage and I can do stuff like that. But I don't know. You know, this live is not stuff oriented. This live is people and ideas oriented. So I'll leave that to other channels. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just I'll just leave it to other channels. They'll do it better than I will. Grand Pito Vic says, I've had a 350 rocket in my kitchen as youngsters and I got married. Okay. Stick Street Garage says, only to assemble. Okay. Buff had, yeah, if you ever have, it counts. Junkyard D says, no engine block, but I built a Harley Sportster in the living room. Well, it has an engine block, so that sort of counts. Mohawk says, that's why I built the shop. No more parts in the house. Okay. Engine blocks make great coffee tables. Yeah, they can. They can. Then see, the small block Mopar is really, really flat on the front, which makes it great if you wanted to have an elevated table. But for a coffee table, it needs to be sitting lower, and then it's not as stable. So it's not a skirted block. So ask me how I know all this stuff. Shoveling the roof's a real thing. Maybe where you live. Lone Ridge Garage says, how many people had a bed in their garage? I'm a couch sleeper anyway, so. I used to have a really cool couch in the garage. Then I brought it in. I've had an engine block on my lap during a live. Sounds heavy. Scott says, does it count if the engine block's in my friend's living room? No, it counts if it's in yours. If he were in here, he could count it, because it doesn't matter if it's somebody else's block. Don't get hung up on the gutter. I'm not going up there. I'm just hoping that roof is heavy enough. Did a few Dana 60s in the bathtub. That's the spirit. Ballast resistor garage. How's it going, sir? Does a Briggs and Stratton billet block count? Yeah, it's a block, isn't it? Why not? Street Fox says, I had a long block in my kitchen. That counts. Long block has a block, right? Can't have a long block without a block. Do transmissions count? Are transmissions engine blocks? No, they are not. Had a transmission on the dining room table, though, a few years ago. That I had. Scrap Iron Racing says, used to have a fiberglass 27 Roadster body and 2 dirt bikes in the living room. Yes. When you have an engine block, no one tells you to get your feet off the table. I'd be more concerned about that. You know, you don't want to scuff up the bores if you have a rock in your shoe, right? Land Yacht Garage, I threw away the shop couch. I wasn't getting anything done. I can see that. There's a garage where I get my inspection stickers, and they have a seat out of something in there, some kind of bus seat or something they made a couch out of, and all it does is it brings in the loafers. For Thanksgiving, I remember. Yes, indeed. Wife got mad at me for wanting to degrease some parts of the dishwasher. I wouldn't put them in the dishwasher. I know people do that stuff. I wouldn't do it. Take them to the car wash or get you a wash tank. Brazil says, when me and my wife first met, I had an old school hardtail chopper in my living room. That's cool. Kind of bugs me to see people who don't work on anything mechanical hang out in their garage. I've seen a lot of people use the garage for living space. I hate it when I see them convert the garage to finished living space that they just don't even really use. I'm like, oh man, what a waste. Although somebody, 30 years later is going to be all excited when they look at that house and say, oh man, this used to be a garage. I can get rid of all this carpet and put cars in here. So that'll be a good surprise for somebody later. I'd take that bench seat right now. Yeah, I actually have a bench seat made into a couch. It was not a good design, though. I saw a V8 block in someone's dining room holding 8 bottles of wine inside some garage. Just thought that was kind of cool. Okay. I'm not a wine person or anything, so tall garage has a Hemi block in the kitchen. Yep. Anywhere can be a hangout. Yeah, I guess. Almost anywhere. Some people have to live in the garage because their house is full of parts. Yeah. Somebody, I know somebody who we see in here on rare occasion, and that is very much the case. And he lives the life. Got a little spot where he sleeps, and the entire rest of the house is full of car parts. Tall Garage says, all the internal in the Ranger went in my dishwasher. Rods, pistons, and crank. I guess. I mean, whatever works for you. I don't use a dishwasher. I am the dishwasher. I live pretty simply, actually. Colleen says, I've done a carburetor in a dishwasher, but nothing really nasty. Yeah. Grandma Vic is looking for her buddy Cuddy 84. I want a house where I can drive vehicles into the living space. Yeah, I've seen a few of those that were conducive to that, actually. Wrong English says paper plates for the bachelor life. I'm not into paper plates for whatever reason. Andy says only car parts in the living room now are new ones from Rock Auto and Summit. And I got plenty of those too. In fact, half of my couch in the living room is taken up with I got a Rock Auto box sitting on it right now, and some brake lines, and some front end parts for the Dark Sport. "38 Racing says it's hard to boil water for the ramen noodles. I've never eaten ramen. Maybe once I've eaten ramen noodles. They're all right. Grandpedovic says, I have my gaskets and plugs and flex plate, but it's too cold to make a video tonight. I understand that. I am no fan of the cold. Brazil had some parts delivered today from Summit. Those are still on the kitchen table. Yep, we're going to be talking tonight here at the top of the hour, here in just 20 minutes, with Professor P about a perk of being registered for the No Name Nationals. Grandma Vic says, I want a house with a 2-car garage. Be nice, can work on the engine with the hubby. Yeah, well, you can make it happen. Brooks says the beef flavor mixed with chicken flavor is the best. Well, I've never tried mixing them. Sarah Canadian Diesel says, well, it's nap time after a long day. You have an awesome stream. Well, thanks for joining us, man. I appreciate it. What makes it awesome is 69 people in here hanging out, including you. Wrong English says, I have a powder-coated rim as a centerpiece in my living room until spring. Yeah, that'll work. Indirect connection. Thanks for coming back, man. The noodles are too slimy. Yeah, I think I've eaten ramen noodles once, but I don't even remember. They're not a mainstay of mine by any means. Although I love my pasta. A week without pasta is inhumane. Don says ramen noodles make wet and add some powdered potatoes. Nice twist. I have a handful of things that I eat. I'm really simple like that. Like my apple cinnamon oatmeal and like my pasta. Just organized about 5 boxes of vintage 40s and 50s Plymouth accessories in the living room. Michael Schmidt says, I'm officially part free in the living room for the first time in years. Right on. Brazil says, as of yesterday, the Galaxy is all legal for competition. Right on. Did you get your battery disconnect in there and all that good stuff? I can't remember what all you needed to do, but if you have any questions and you want to make tech a little easier, anything that's in question, you can email me some pictures. I'll get them to Deke, and that will help you when you go to tech because you'll already be familiar with it. Andrew Nelson says, good evening, gang. Cold and snowing in Pennsylvania. Thanks for coming by. You know, Andrew, you just missed it. There was a conversation about keeping parts in your house. I asked how many people have an engine block in their living room or in their living quarters. Mohawk says ramen noodles equal cardboard strings. I'm not arguing that. Weird looking. 49ers, are they winning? No, but Virginia Tech is playing right now. So after this live, I might catch the second half. I was in school there for my second tour of undergraduate during Michael Vick's tenure at Tech. Andrew Nelson says, how about a supercharger? Jack stands in cinder blocks comes by. Howdy. Dean says, unless it has monosodium glutamate, we cannot be friends. Or maybe he means Madison Square Garden. I don't know. Not going to assume. Jack Stains and Cinder Blocks said, what did I miss? Everything. Missed a few minutes of bad audio, but we restarted. At the top of the hour, sir, we're going to be talking about a benefit for registered no-name nationals channels. So we pick our peak time, which is about the middle of the live, and we're going to be talking with Professor P about a benefit for you guys who are registered for the no-name nationals. Brazil said, I sent a video to Dallas. He said it looked good, so if it's wrong, it's his fault. Now, send the video to me. I'll get it to Deke, the guy who's actually inspecting the car. Term life insurance, term over whole, yes, absolutely. If that's the question. Whole life insurance is a scam. Everything but the audio is better. Yeah, I don't know what in the world. It was something to do with the Chrome browser. So I'm on borrowed hardware right now. My laptop has gone out to Arizona and it has been renovated, all new software, solid state drives, the works. And if it's not already on the way back, it's close to it. So I'm going to have my hardware here real soon, but I'm on a borrowed machine, and that borrowed machine, I tried to use the Chrome because the Microsoft Edge would not let me do certain things. It's a pain. Chrome, everything worked better on my end, but you guys said the audio was terrible. So I got out of there, fixed the one, but we have to have audio, right? How long is whole life insurance for? Until you're broke and can't make the premiums. That's how long it's for. or until you cash it out and realize that you could have made a lot more money doing something else. Can I alter the policy? Yeah, get rid of it. Get you a term policy. It's a whole lot cheaper. Put the rest of the money in the market. Sam Mountain Mopar says, I'm not sure if I'll make it for this year's No Name Nationals. Why not? Come out as a spectator, if nothing else. So it's not age-based. I'm sure what they charge you is, but that said, the whole life is so much more expensive. Put the rest of your money in no-name nationals tickets. I wouldn't do that. I would buy one. I mean, and for all of you guys who have registered early and bought your spectator passes early, thank you. The earlier you guys pay your bills, the earlier we can pay ours. So thanks. I appreciate that. It's very helpful. I would like to bring back the movie for the 4th annual. I'd really like to. It's going to kind of depend on where we stand by Memorial Day. I just don't want to get over leveraged speculating on the gate merch and things like that. So that's the deal. Jack Stand Center Blocks is already making plans to be at the No Name Nationals in 2025. The Mill Truck and Monkey Bike will be there in 2024. We're there in 2024. Okay, that makes more sense. Maybe driving Clifford truck by then, bringing something cool. Right on. Yeah, I'll tell you, just, if you wind up, your projects don't pan out in any way, whatever happens, still come out as a spectator. Have a good time. Still great to just be there. And really, most of the No Name Nationals, the fun and all is being here with the crowd. That's what's fun. So that's it. I hope Sam Mountain Mopars can make it. Hope he can make it. But again, if the car doesn't pan, know you're welcome. I mean, nothing's contingent upon having your car there. We want to meet all of you guys. We want to meet our fellow content creators and have our family reunion. And the cars are always a really nice, pleasant side effect. Best crowd ever. I would like to think so. Project would make its subscriber count. Oh, you have 258 days, 3 hours, and 11 minutes. You can totally do it, Sam Mountain Mopars. And I'll tell you, you can ask these guys here, see their opinion on it. If you register now, you have a lot more people. You're going to be up on my channel. They'll know you're registered, and you'll have more people helping you. And when you get close, we usually have a little live 500 party on my channel. You can do it. You can definitely do it. We have 2 channels registered right now. One of them has 496 subscribers to go. 4 down, 496 to go as of the start of this live. So that guy's going to do it. You can too. And you got good content. You got a good channel, good stuff. You can do it. Just commit to it. You'll do it. Grampito Vic did it. He did it before the season started. He would have been a No Name 500 channel, but he was getting really close. We got a 500 live, and he got about 50 subs in one day. You can do it. LSS Drone, he's gotten a bunch of subs recently too. Been helping him do little tweaks. Big Mike says I was registered with fewer than 75 subscribers. Yeah. These guys will tell you they've been there. Jason liked it so much he did it twice. Indirect connection. He did the No Name 500 twice. By choice. Hot Rod Guy Garage says 258 days of daily shorts will get 99% over 500. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Dust Devil Garage says registering alone usually gets you over 100 subs. It kind of does. You could start a channel and get 500. So yeah, that's the thing though. You only need 427 subs. That's 2025. Yeah, you can do it. These guys they're telling you right. Lars says, I got 5,000 subscribers from a BS short video. Anything is possible unless you don't try. Lars is correct. It can be done. Just stay on it. And by the way, James here, Big James, SSR Performance, he did it in, what, about a week? But they hustled. He did good content for a week. And he did it. James, how long did it take you, Big James, from like, what were you, like 40-some to get your 500? You did it. I know you did it in under 2 weeks. I remember that well. 74. You got 74. Okay, yeah, you almost got 100. You can do it. Indirect Connection got 100 subs in one short in 4 days. Yep. We got the subs we need to watch. Watch hours don't have anything to do with qualifying for the No Name Nationals. So your quest for watch hours, that's awesome. But I will say, when you get your 500 subs, you're in. And 500 subs or not, you still have a spectator ticket regardless. And I will say, not that it should ever be part of your plan, but if you get, say, over 400, show up at the event. You'll probably get your 500 right there. I would say that the most fertile place to find 100 subscribers is probably the Thursday before the No Name Nationals. At Lambert's and the Pits and the Cruise, all that good stuff, you probably will find your subs right there in person. Don says, I started early. Subs worked in my favor. I'm still coming back. Beating last time. Yeah. And Don did. Don is a good model of what happens when you start early and you do a little bit each day. Lone Wrench Garage says, I'm interested, Dust Devil, provided I get to 500. You know, like I said, if you work on it every day and you don't quit, you'll get there. Evans Mopar started my YouTube channel because of me and the No Name Nationals. Well, cool. And Scott, he did it. Scott put in the work. SSR Performance said 12 days, and he started with 40-some subs. Yeah, that's about what I remember. Did it in 12 days. And did it all the right way. Just good, original content, put the work in, and did it. See, you're already up to 76 subs, Sam Mountain Mopar. If you hang out here and you hang out in other live streams for people from our community and you put in the work, you'd be amazed what will happen. Izzy says, Roman numerals math class was a long time ago. Sometimes I still use them. Sam Mountain Mopar says, I probably should post more, but those haters come out and it gets discouraging. Oh, my gosh. It's just part of it. Rough them up a little bit and go on. If you take advice from people on the sidelines, you'll wind up there with them. So don't worry about those people who cannot do what you do. Just video what you do. It'll come. Don't overthink it. Yeah. But you got to make content. Yeah, and there's no reason to cheat. There really is no reason to cheat. Just do what you're supposed to do. You don't need to cheat. You don't need to steal content. Just film what you're doing. Tell people who you are. Show people your projects. Build your stuff, and you will get it. Jack Stands Cinderblock says his best subscribers are you guys. You watch the videos and comment and give honest feedback. Yeah. Yeah, I have a troll seating area to No Name Nationals. Yes, I do. Jumping on me for using the wrong hammer? Yes, sir. Anything you do. These are the same people who would never risk their videos making content, putting themselves out there. So, you know. Part of it. And it ended up being my best video of the year. Yep, I can imagine that. Grandma Vic wants to donate a ticket. Well, we can figure out something down the stretch if you want to. The thing about a ticket is the ticket itself is the least of actually getting there. So got to figure out who's committed to be there. YouTube doesn't see the Never Done Project says YouTube doesn't see the difference between a like or a dislike, whatever. Yeah, I will say one thing. I don't want people to get too wrapped up about analytics, too wrapped up about any of that. The big thing is this is about community. So tell us who you are. Show us who you are, your projects, where you are, what you're doing. Let us follow that journey and let all the rest of that stuff take care of itself. But the big thing is just try to cover the bases to help you get the most out of your own content. So, the little things like how you title your videos and production stuff that will keep people watching, etc. Brazil said, I just film whatever I do in the garage each day and made 10,000 subs in 2024. Yes, he did. We've had several guys who've started out one season, gotten 10,000 subs in the year. Alva says a whopping 89 subs. Yeah. And I'll tell you what, it took me a whole lot longer to get my first 89 subs than it did to get the next 2,000 or whatever. I mean, I bet it took me more than 10 years to get 100 subs, and then it took me less than a year to get another 1,000 on top of that. So it just, you get out what you put into it. One-Eyed Cat says, if you got a stupid cat, that sells too. Yeah. I don't usually get much on my little content with Jethro, but then again, I'm not doing it to try to get subs or anything. I do it just because it's something I want to have a video of to watch later. Yeah, just do what you do. That's right. Hot Rod Guy Garage, he's another one. He's a rock star from last year's crowd. He took off. But the important questions are what Jason's asking. Does a Vegemite sandwich taste any better upside down? This is the stuff we really need to know. Yeah, look at Junk Car Willie. Yep, that guy. He just took a phone, went to a junkyard and places around the side of the road, and guy built a huge channel out of it and got all kinds of stuff going now. It's amazing what somebody can do if they want to put the work in. Unfinished Project reminds us that it's only 37 Saturdays until the No Name Nationals in 2025. Junk Car Willie, national treasure. He's a good dude. We should see him at the No Name Nationals again this year. He's been there every year. Tall Garage says, no one thought I'd make it, but here we are. Make it where? I remember you guys making it to Sykeston first year. And Tall Garage is the shorter of the Tall brothers. All right, I'm going to get a quick plug in, then we're going to bring in Professor P. For those who might be interested, this Thursday, I'm going to be having a live stream completely different about my time in training and teaching firearms. I've been a professional firearms instructor for 15 years. This will be my, 16th year. And I've traveled the country to train and got lots of interesting stuff to share from that. It's all about training and stuff like that. And it's completely different, has nothing to do with Cars or No Name Nationals, but it'll be on my channel this Thursday at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. So I wanted to plug that. Of course, this Wednesday, if you have more questions, tech questions, Tech Talk Live on the American Hot Rod Association channel with Dallas and Professor P will be this Wednesday. And of course, a week from right now on Friday, we're going to have another live stream here on this channel, which we do every Friday. So I thought I'd get those plugs in. Yes, and the Slow Monkey Bike Challenge and No Name Nationals. We're going to promote that a little bit this year. It's something that organically happened, but we're going talk more about it as the year goes on. These guys are going to do it every year. Lars puts up the link for that other live for those who want to check it out. But anyway, we got a guest in the house. Let's welcome Professor. What's happening?
Oh, I'm knocking on the door. Sorry, my jaw's still swollen. I had surgery, so a little hard to talk. But anyways, we're here.
I want to bring that up real quick. I'm gonna put that up on the screen.
Yeah.
And we'll talk a little bit about this and tell people what we have. I'll bring it back here in just a minute, but you had mentioned on Wednesday that you were working on this, and now we've just about got it ready to go.
Yeah.
So I've got the live streams entitled Edelbrock Incentives. Tell the folks what these incentives are and how they qualify for them. It's a really cool thing that you and Edelbrock are doing for this community.
Yeah, it's just a perk of registering early, so that way if you're in the middle of building something, it's to help you better with parts, costs, and the best thing about it is that you can buy parts, look up our inventory and everything, 24 hours a day. So this is basically a business to business type of deal. So it's not like a 9 to 5 thing, and you can order parts at any time you want, and it's a live inventory. So it's a pretty amazing thing, but it's just something that we normally do just for bigger corporations, but we're going to put it into a package deal for the no-name nationals. Is only a perk. This is just so that way you guys can help you cost effectiveness to build your cars.
So just to let you guys know, because I know that there's always concern when you see big companies, okay?
Exactly.
This is not a sponsorship. What it
No.
is this is something that Professor P has helped get in place for you guys, so that it is directly to the benefit of you guys and your projects, getting closer to your dreams, building your cars, and it's just for people who are registered for the No Name Nationals. So there's no corporate anything coming in, except all of it goes to your benefit as individuals. The house makes nothing on this other than it's helping you guys, which helps us.
Yeah, and I don't make anything from this either. This is just for you guys.
Yeah.
This is just something that my company does for like bigger businesses. Like I say, you're running a dyno shop, and you 9 to 5 is not your time when you're racing or working. So this is for that kind of person, and it's going to fit well for you guys. So a couple of things about it that works really good is
we'll put this up so people can see it here.
Yeah. So like I said, it's convenient, 24 hours at your fingertips, and you can order at the account administration. So now the No Name Nationals is going to be put under Engine Builder. Now there's only one better pricing, and that's like Summit, which you got to buy a lot for that. So you guys have really good pricing. So you can look around, but I can almost tell you're never going to find anything cheaper than this. And basically, we're gonna be changing the freight on this too. I'm not sure exactly. Right now it stays at 500, but I'm trying to get it lowered so that way we can get freight lower. So if it's like 100 to 150, it's not 100% yet, but I'm working on that. And so as you go right down, you can see access to 20,000 parts. Basically everything that you would normally get, like the access that Summit gets, Jegs gets, and whatever, you guys are going to have access to this. And what it's going to be is it's a portal. And then as you register, we're going to be putting in your YouTube, your email, your phone number. And what John's going to do is as they come in, John's going to email Chris Mays. Chris Mays is the head of the sales. He's like the VP of sales. He's going to put it in there, and then you're going to get an email from Chris Mays of your ID and your password. So that way you can go onto a link, you go in there, you register, and we're still working on the particulars of this, but we're thinking how we're going to do this is that I was talking with John, and John can stop me at any time of this, is we're thinking about a good time frame is that I'm hoping for this to go live on the 1st of February. Now if we can get it sooner, we can get it sooner, but if not, 1st of February. And then as soon as you register, your registration will go all the way until February 1st of 2026. So that way, when John sometimes gets the orange card in the back, at the end of December. This way, it gives you a month to figure out what you want to do and whatnot. And you just don't lose your perks right away. So
We
each
should
time
have we should announce the date always by the last Friday of the year. So
yeah,
basically, we built this to give you at least a 30-day grace period.
exactly, to figure out what you want to do and how you're going to, work on things. So, yeah, I'll keep John updated on this. He will keep you going on this. I've got a list of everybody that's already enrolled. And what we're going to do is we're going to start working with them and get those up on there. And this is it's a thing that we've already used for our businesses, but we're doing this as a group for the first time. And so it's gonna help our people. Well, it's gonna help you guys out also. So it's gonna be a massive thing for you guys. You're gonna really enjoy it.
This is a big deal, guys. I mean, you're going to
Huge.
save enough money on this, some of you, to cover your trip.
Absolutely. Yeah, the
It's a lot
savings
of
on
money.
this is substantial. When I say the cost benefits of this, let's just say, for instance, you go to Summit, and even if you have ATEC, this is going to be well below ATEC. Also, sometimes when you get those like discount cards, this is going to be even less than that. So this is what the shops buy pricing, and this is what you're going to be buying them at. So it's the only thing that you're going to have to call in for is if you wanted a custom cam, but basically everything else, you'll see our inventory and you'll see when it's in the docket to be coming up. So there's a lot of things. Yes.
This is really good. I mean, you guys are getting a lot of access here. This is a good deal for you.
Yeah.
If all of you are building stuff, you think about it. And this is an incentive, not only to save you money, but it's also a good incentive to register early for the No Name Nationals. So
Exactly.
our registration was open really early this year because we had things that we have to kind of set dates around happen earlier in the year. So our registration was open earlier than it's ever been in November. Registration is always open by the last Friday in the year. If you go ahead and register sometime before February 1, between when registration opens and February 1, that will keep you from lapsing as this goes in perpetuity.
Mhm.
But the big deal is think about it. If you have a parts order in March and you haven't registered yet, wouldn't it be good to have already been registered? You probably could have saved as much potentially as you would have spent on your registration.
Exactly.
Anybody who takes advantage of this program has a high likelihood of saving more money than the registration because everything is expensive now, and this is going to help.
This is going to help. And I was trying to figure out something to do to help everybody because, any little bit can help right now, especially, I've got plenty of cars, so I understand how it is to keep them on the road. So yeah, I think this is an amazing thing. Yeah.
Yeah, these guys are loving it. NSD says this is awesome. SSR Performance says this is sweet. Buffdale Campos says custom cam. Yeah. Dust Devil says this looks amazing. Bobby Frizzell said I bought 4 VRS carburetors. I'm probably going to buy a few more. SSR says I'm getting registered in the morning just for this. Well, you're getting registered for the No Name Nationals, I would hope, and this is a great perk that comes with it.
This is just a perk.
Right. We can all benefit from discounted parts. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Grand Tito Vic says fuel pressure regulator. So something I had up the brands earlier, and of course, because my live stream decided to take a nice fall, let me run to my email real quick, and I'll just put this on the screen. If it'll do it, it won't do it. There we go. Here are your brands right here. Let me zoom back out of here.
Yeah.
This is the Edelbrock group.
Yes. So it's
the Edelbrock group. We have Edelbrock, we have Comp Cams, Fast Fuel Air Spark Technology, TCI, Russell, and Lunati.
Yes.
So these are all companies you're familiar with.
Exactly. And those all will fall inside this umbrella. Like I said, the only thing that's not going to be able to order over is going to be, like, say, a custom cam. Other than that, anything that we have in our catalog or anything you can look up, you're going to be able to access, see our inventory, and also to when it's going to be, back on the shelf. So you'll actually get access to, like, oh, that'll be ready in a couple weeks or 3 weeks. So the same information that Summit gets when they say, hey, this will be ready whenever, you're going to have the same access.
That's nice. That's a really nice benefit. That's a really, in this day and time, with things having so long of leads and not knowing things, that's a big deal.
Yes.
Dean Stevenson has a question. Does the VRS carb come with their own fuel supply?
Like fuel lines? No, it doesn't. It does come with the it does have the AN lines that go into it. I actually have a carb right here. Hold on. They just come with the -6 AN lines fittings that go into it, but we do have a 3 or 4 different types of fuel lines that go onto it. We have a fuel log that's adjustable, and then we have the actual lines that are AN style, but it doesn't come with it.
This perk may save Frizzell's marriage. He says, I'm about to take out a loan for FE parts. Heads, intake, VRS carbs. My wife's going to be so happy. Does Devil Brian, does Russell still make the purple AN fittings?
I don't think so. I think everything's going to be either black, blue, or that silver, like the Endurashine, I think is what they call it.
Roy Boy says, can a humble spectator use this? We just said this is a perk for registered participants for the No Name Nationals.
Yeah, you have to be, but the thing is that you have to be in this to race. That's the whole thing. This is not just open for everyone. You got to have like John said, this is a racer type of thing. So you have to be entered for that, and then that's when you get the access to it.
Yeah, but you have to be a registered channel. Thing is,
yes,
we go out on a limb way early with committing to expenses for this event, like a year in advance, going out on that limb, regardless of weather, regardless of what can happen, regardless of politics, regardless of anything, regardless of any circumstances and events. And so all you're going out on a limb for is a registration fee of $90.
Yep.
And that even is inclusive of your spectator ticket if your car doesn't make it. So yeah, you're going out on a little bit of a limb, but it's a whole lot, less of a limb than I'm going out on, for example. And so this is a really great perk to have for doing so.
And even if you spend the $90 and say your project car doesn't get done, the car that you drove there, you can always enter in the bracket race.
Yeah, right.
And go that. And if you're first time bracket, then you can do bracket race and first time bracket. I think that's a 2.
You could do burnout too if you wanted to.
And you could do burnout. So
if you're brave enough, you can do it.
Yeah. So I mean, you could be in 3 events right there. So it's a win-win.
Levi says, I'm not paying $700 to $800 for a car, but you might not have to.
Yeah.
What would be an example if you were to use a carburetor for an example with this program? Like, what would be a ballpark example of what they might be able to see?
John, I really don't know because I don't do anything with the costs.
Okay. Fair enough.
What I can do though, is that I will send you on Monday an example of one thing to another thing, and then you can put it up in this chat or talk about it the next time.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. Aaron Henry here from the other side of the universe. He says, do renter cars count? So that's between you and your rental contract. We don't care.
Yeah. We'll never know.
That's not our business.
Yeah.
I've never done drag racing. Well, you're welcome to. Come September, we got a place you can. And if you're new to drag racing, there will be people to help you who will help you learn. Like, in fact, I even walked out on the track and, gave a little tutorial to some people on Thursday when the track was cold. And I showed them, hey, here's your water box back here. Here's your pre-stage and stage, and kind of walked them through it. So we do have a little bit of help and tutorials like that on Thursdays. And the first year, I think 85% of the participants had not been on the track before.
That's exactly what I was just going to say.
And it still went off just fine.
Yeah. And this is a no worry type of racing. It's all fun. There's no stress with this.
Here's a good question Grand Pito Vic has. Who do we contact to find out what we can get discounts for?
Everything. You're going to get discounts on everything. Basically, it's across the board.
But you're going to have a link for the site so they can go in there and browse.
Yes, exactly. So now you have to be registered to get a link. So once you get registered, then you basically get access to this. And then there'll be step by step on how everything works. And then we might even just do a video thing where John will walk you guys through it. But it's pretty simple stuff. I was kind of playing with it. But it's literally just accessing parts. Literally, it's like a website type thing, just looking at parts.
So as this comes to fruition, and it's on the fast track, it is happening now. Those who are already registered will be the first people in the program because you're already registered now. A lot of you are. And then obviously we'll add people as it goes. And we can, do this on a subsequent live stream and walk through the site and all that kind of stuff as needed. But that said, I'm really thrilled that this perk is being extended to you guys. I think this is going to help a lot of people. We've had other things in the past. I mean, it's always people spend a lot of money on fuel, the cost of getting to this event. They're expensive for a lot of you guys, right? I mean, when you're building a car, you've got that expense. So this is going to help keep money in your pocket. And I know that's going to help this community a lot.
Yeah. And what really made me think about doing this is because the first year, everybody just kind of showed up. The second year, I kind of noticed cars were getting faster. The third year, they kind of got a little faster. They're at this threshold where they just need a little bit more parts to get to that next, hey, I want to get into the 6s this year, or I want to get into the 7s this year. This will definitely help you do that because, it's either heads, cam, or whatever you need at that point. This is definitely going to help you out for that.
Yeah, this event is just fun. Come on out. We do have serious racers there, and we also have people who this is the only time of year they ever get on a track, and we have everything in between. There's no stress, nothing to worry about. It's a very supportive crowd. And I will say there is a difference, too, between racing and just driving on a drag strip. If you just want to make some passes and just see what your car will run, that's not really racing. It's not really competition. But what you want to know is how to drive on a drag strip. Yeah. We can help you with that. The racing comes second because then you combine how to drive on a drag strip with how to compete against another vehicle.
Yeah.
Those are two different things. So
and that's where it gets fun.
That's a different layer, right?
Yes.
But anyway, if you just want to see what your vehicle will run, you can come out and do that. If you want to try to take on our bracket ringers like the T's Good Time Garage and the Just Mopar Joes and the Ross Rennies and these type of guys who are really good at the bracket and 318 wheel run and these guys, you can run competitively as well.
Yeah. And as this gets built and put together, I'm definitely going to keep John updated on this, and he will update you guys. And we're going to be running a test run on this probably next week. I believe there's 20 something people that have already registered. And so we're going to start putting them in, and John's going to forward me their information so that way we can put them into the computer. You're not going to get a bunch of emails from us. The only email you're going to get from us is just the email to show how to do this. But yeah, we're going to need to just put your address and all that. It's basically like building an account is what we're going to have to do.
Yeah, so we take some time on Thursday to help you get familiarized and such. So if you've never run before, getting there earlier on Thursday would be helpful to you because the track is cold, and that's a great time to get out there and walk people through, what to do if you've never been on the track before.
Yeah.
Dean Stevenson wants to know if Cope has a shift kit for an 833.
It's called the driver mod.
It's called a file. SSR says, I'm pretty pumped about this. Big James, if you wind up saving money on this, it might be kind of cool over the course of the year to tally up how much you save with this program. That would actually be a really interesting video in itself.
Yeah, James, and if this is for SSR performance, say you get into this program with the No Name Nationals, and then you end up buying more than just personal allotment because this is going to be open for your business. They will take you off of this and they'll put you into a different tier, and then you'll have your own separate type of thing for this. So this is for people to, if they're really not sure if they're wanting to start, investing like this as far as into their company, this is a good way to do it. So people like you who have got I'm not sure how big your business is, but if it's, decent, 2-bay shop, this could put you over that little hump and get you going.
Brazel's asking, how long is this account good for?
It's for 1 year. So when you register for this year, it's going to go active February 1st of 2025, and it'll be good until February 1st of 2026 for the 2025 No Name Nationals. So then, like we were saying earlier, when John puts up the orange sticker in December and you register, this will give you a 30-day grace period to decide what you're going to do. What's that?
That way it'll let you, you'll have basically 30-day window to get registered to keep it active.
Yeah, keep it active. Exactly. So, and then, we're going to see how this works. If you keep buying parts and say you're, starting to run a shop, or you're, hey, I actually can afford this stuff now, so I can start doing this. You can move into a different direction from that, but that's between you and Edelbrock, and how they, and how the sale goes. Right now, everybody's going to be grouped into the No Name Nationals group for right now.
Thank you, Sean O'Brien. He says this is a really cool benefit that you didn't have to do, so it's really appreciated. Well, we appreciate you guys.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, all the stuff we do. Help. Yeah, everything that John does, I do, Dallas, everyone. This is all just for the community, because there's a big lacking thing of like helping people in the racing. It's really kind of hands off. People show up and they're nice to each other, but they're really not. So this is just a way to give it back, to keep people more into the sport.
SSR Performance says that's awesome. Most places make you do crazy buy-ins to get started. Makes it tough on the small guys. This doesn't require that. That is a big deal.
And that's exactly why I wanted to do this, is because I know that there's shops in this. So that way, if I lump you together in a group for right now, and then as things go, you can branch off of this and then move into your own. So this is going to help you in the long run. As you move forward.
Thumper, so you missed everything, but what I will say is that if you want to wind it back, we've got Edelbrock incentives, and there is a really nice benefit for registering for the No Name Nationals. Once you are a registered channel for the 4th annual No Name Nationals, you're going to have a website you can access to get discounts from anything within the Edelbrock group.
Yeah, so that's like, he's going to bring it up right now.
These guys.
Going forward.
Comp Cams, Fuel Air Spark Technologies, TCI, Russell, Lunati, anything within that Edelbrock group. It's about 20,000 part numbers, and you'll have a website. Once you're registered for the No Name Nationals, you'll get your credentials to access it. The site should go live about February 1st. The idea is that come next year, you'll go ahead and register when the number goes up, which is no later than the last Friday of the year. And then you have a little bit of a grace period in there. But as long as you keep re-registering once we announce the event, this should be maintained in perpetuity. That's the hope for right now.
Yeah. And also, too, there's one more thing I forgot to put on you. You're going to have exclusive access to obsolete and closeout specials. So, like, I'll say every 4 or 5 months, maybe we get a bunch of scratch and dent things. It's right there at the bottom. So what that is that say Summit gets a part, and then the package got torn. There's nothing wrong with the part. They send it back to us. We give them a refund, and then we resell it as a scratch and dent. And a lot of us get to buy that first. Well, you're going to have access to that kind of stuff too now with this. So there's a lot of things that are involved in this, not just buying, brand new parts, it's buying scratch and dents, returns, whatever it may, torn box, whatever it is.
SSR's asking, is RHS in that group? I'm not sure what RHS is.
Yes and no. They are. RHS still, you can still buy RHS parts from us. That is correct for right now.
Grandito Vic says loves the scratch and dent stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So deck stands, let's scratch it. Oh yeah. See, this crowd loves it because they like function at a better price.
That's why I mentioned it. I was like, wait a second, there was one more thing. Oh yeah. I had to look at my little list. Oh yeah, scratch and dents. Boom, there it is.
So if you're just getting here, check it out. This is going to be a wonderful perk for registered channels for the No Name Nationals. To get this, you need to be registered as a participant for the No Name Nationals. We hope for everything to go live by February 1. You're going to get credentials emailed to you. And hopefully between registration for the event coming out the end of December every year, you'll have a little grace period for February 1. That way you'll have some time so that you don't lose your access to this. You can maintain it, and registering early will help you keep it maintained.
Yeah.
Dust Devil Garage says, wait, we get scratch and dent stuff like an online Edelbrock swap meet?
Bingo.
Mohawks loving it. Never done projects. Danny, well, they're more excited about scratch and dent than anything.
You know, what's funny is I even put a note for myself for the scratch and dent.
Well, thank you guys. Is there a link? There will be. When we have the link, we'll share it. We'll share it right here.
Yeah.
So
now
you guys will get your stuff emailed to you when you're registered and it goes live.
Exactly. So yeah, you got to be registered and you got to be in it. Even if you don't have the 500, as long as you register, you will have access to this. So I'm actually pulling that part of it back, but because once you've paid the $90, you're in the running. That means that if you make it, you're in. You know, with the 500. But this way, I look at it this way. Even if you're going to spend the $90 to get in it and you don't make it, you're going to save that exponentially just in parts money. So it's worth it.
Well, he wants to know, you ever get any scratch 6.4 Hemi superchargers?
I can't say yes or no, but there might be a couple over here. I don't know.
You never know.
You never know.
Well, thank you guys. This has been a long time coming. I'm glad it's here. Trying to keep putting more value into the No Name Nationals as much as we can. I know that inflation is hitting a lot of you guys hard. It's hitting a lot of us hard. I know we've got inflation over 30% in the last few years, and I'm sure none of you guys have magically gotten a 30% raise to cover it. So hopefully this will help offset that and help more people get their cars to the No Name Nationals than would have otherwise.
I agree. So, yeah, and like I said, we'll keep you guys updated on this as we go, and then we're going to start running some test sessions, probably on Tony, on Hot Rod Garage, and a few other people as we go through, since they can just kind of access things and go from there.
Right on. So the testing will be going on. You guys will get your stuff emailed to you, but you got to be registered. So if you haven't gotten an email yet and you're not registered, that would be why.
Right.
But you're hearing about this early. The time frame to make it live is approximately February 1.
Yeah,
that's what we're aiming for. And this is an incentive for you to register early, and it helps us. It helps you.
Yeah. Exactly. Thank you, John. You're absolutely correct on that one, Mr. Cope.
That's right. We did our best to fix it on both ends.
Yeah, right.
Inflation needs to jump in a lake. I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
Thank you, Dizzy. Thank you. Well, I got to tell you, this is Professor P's doing right here. We want everything we can for you guys. So I'm happy to just be administrative help to this. The person making this happen is Professor P.
In fact, I blindsided John last Friday with this because I had it already pretty well worked out, but I didn't know exactly how it was going to work. So I blindsided him on his live and told him about this. And then this basically just kind of all happened in the last couple of days since we went back to work.
It's good though. This is just something to help you guys. Purely what it is to help you guys.
Yeah. And once again,
it's
we want to reiterate.
No one's selling the event or anything for this. This is purely just nothing but a benefit for you guys.
Exactly.
We don't get just a dime for this. Not a dime.
Yeah. It's not corporate America coming in. This is just to help you guys out. That's all this is.
But a shout out to them. Thanks for we appreciate the Elbrock Group, letting this happen for us, and Professor P for making it happen.
Yeah.
Yes. And it saves you guys money, which is a big deal for all of you. So,
and it's not like it's chump change too. This is what companies buy these parts for and resell them at. So you're going to buy them at basically what people can would normally resell them to you at. So this is a huge discount. I will give you some examples.
It's wholesale in essence.
Yeah, exactly. It's close. There's only one more lower, but they buy millions from us. So
By the train car. For real.
daily.
Like think of Walmart's purchasing power. How cheap Walmart can sell an oil filter. They got a rail car full of those.
Yes.
They got more oil filters than you can change in your lifetime to get that price. That's not reasonable. But this is.
Yes. And like I said, the only way I could make it work was lumping everyone together.
I'm glad it's happened. If any of you guys have any questions about this, not nominating Professor P for anything necessarily, but I would think Wednesday would be a perfectly good time to ask that, because you can see Professor P over there on Wednesdays on the American Hot Rod Association channel. I'm sure we'll have him back on here, in the coming weeks, probably, to do a walkthrough of the website, talk more about this. So this is a big deal. I can see a lot of people making some stuff happen. Andy, you missed it. Being a registered channel for the No Name Nationals has this perk, so you want to check it out. Big savings from the Edelbrock Group for registered No Name Nationals channels.
Right.
Danny Boyd says the vast majority of my Walmart experience is watching shoplifting and loss prevention videos on YouTube. Yeah, I gotta say, that's mine too.
Mine is the people of Walmart.
Yes, yes.
I watch that.
Yes. Andy, one of the OGs of the Tunnel Ram Mafia. Indeed. Glad to have Andy here. And so probably the single most asked about thing would be, this would save money on a person who wants to try out the new VRS carburetor.
100% correct.
That's the biggest thing I get asked about. Andy likes it. Yeah, man. I think it's cool. I'm really glad for this. This is a straight pass-through benefit for you guys. And I wouldn't want it any other way. I'm thrilled to death that this is purely to you guys' benefit, to help you get your projects done and make it to the No Name Nationals. And think about it, you get to enjoy your projects year-round and in perpetuity for the rest of your life, right? Yeah. So even though we've given you a little bit of a time frame here, it still is, it's still at the end of the day, it's your stuff, it's your projects. And you get to enjoy them year-round with family and everything else, not just at this event. Yeah. So the benefits are going to pay all the time. Danny Boyd used to swear by Walmart for batteries until they did away with the cheaper value start line.
I agree.
I like the Interstate Warehouse blemish batteries. I think those are unbeatable.
That value start line, basically they were just boiled batteries. They were put on like a tombstone, type of like arc welder for 50 amps. But man, I actually still have one that's just the jumper battery, and it still works great.
So I'm going to tell anybody who's gotten here a little bit late, Andy. So anything within the Edelbrock Group, if you're a registered channel for the No Name Nationals and your registration has been sent in, you're going to get credentials to get a website login where you're going to get a discount buying directly. Edelbrock, Compcams, Fast, TCI, Russell, Ludati. It's a great thing, and it's just for registered channels. And you can renew this every year. So if you re-register for the No Name Nationals between the time it's announced and February 1st, you'll be able to renew. That's kind of the idea as of right now, to be able to keep this.
Yeah. And the VRS on the best fuel, we've tested that on pump gas, race gas. It works well on all of them, except for E85 because of the percentage of fuel you need more. We came out with an E85 850, and then we have the betas coming in for the 950s that we just released. So we should have a few of those out in the wild. But any fuel will work pretty much, as long as it's not like methanol or like an E85. You're going to have to change some things for that.
Colleen says, don't lie, you're going to be stocking up on parts for Dark Sport and Road Trainer. I have not even asked about this for myself because I have never registered for the No Name Nationals.
He's going to be in it. I'm already made sure of that.
I'm not even asked. I was just, I was excited for you guys. Yeah, Brazil says nobody's getting VRS. He's going to buy them all. Thumper, he is an ethanol guy. He grows his own, makes it from cattails that grow at the foot of his driveway.
He's
So,
the guy.
is there anything pertaining to ethanol with the VRS? Is there going to be an ethanol version of it one day?
Well, we have an E85 one.
You do? Okay.
Yeah, it just came out, obviously, because the 85, the volume of fuel and how signal works. We had to change some things in the metering block just so that way it would work. But yeah, we did come up with an E85 850, and I'm actually converting a Dominator right now, my Edelnator, to E85 also.
Levi's asking who designed the TH400. I'm assuming he means a first or second gear launch valve body,
Yep.
or is it a 2-speed valve body? I don't know what 1+2 valve body means necessarily.
Yeah, launch 1 or 2. So you can use that as a 3-speed or a 2-speed and launch into the first or second. Yeah, you can always ask me on that, Levi. Not here. I don't want to hijack this. But you can just text me. You got my number.
Yeah, it would also be a pretty good Wednesday topic too, I would think.
Yes.
It depending if it winds up being tech oriented.
Yeah, it's pretty in depth, but
at least it's not switch pitch.
Oh man, it's funny.
B&R likes E10 ethanol. He just likes his regular diluted pumped gas. But likes 110, 112 octane.
Yeah.
Jack Stans has a new monkey bike video.
I've always been a 110, 112 guy, but I've actually been running some E85 on the dyno, and it works awesome.
Andy says there are two types of folks who have a VRS and those who want them. I've heard nothing but good about them. Nothing but good.
Yep.
How are VRSs doing with mileage?
We tested it, and it was because of how well it uses the fuel. You use less fuel. I think Andy demonstrated that when he did with the duals on the tunnel ram, but when he did on the single one, it actually used less fuel and made the same power. And what it comes down is just atomization, because we have a much longer Venturi in there, so you can get a better signal on it. It's longer. It's a taller carburetor, so therefore you're going to get better atomization. So that it just uses fuel more efficiently, because you can't really burn the fuel. You're burning the vapor. So it's basically vapor pressure that you're trying to obtain.
Levi theorizes if we say it 2 more times, Dallas will appeal out of nowhere like Beetlejuice. Andy says that the VRS has better brake-specific fuel consumption numbers.
Exactly. I didn't want to go that deep into it, but yes, exactly. That's correct.
Andy is flexing his dyno knowledge there.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, with brake-specific fuel consumption, you can basically get anything you really want, because you can calculate how much power it's really making with that. So yeah, it's a great tool.
Old McDonald says there are 2 types of folks: those who own Mopars and those who don't.
I agree with that one.
And Lars puts up a link to the Unity Motorsports VRS video. Dean says people in Tennessee are radioactive. Some of them are.
That's true.
Don says, I'm a long way from needing a VRS, but I like the way you think.
No, man. I had a VRS on my Slant 6 for a while, and I literally popped it on there, started it up, and I drove it like that, and it got the same mileage as my AVS.
So B&R is asking, are there any plans for a 1150 CFM for the VRS?
I just have no comment on any of that.
He has no comment, but I can tell you just from what he's publicly put out there, he made an Edelnator. So it's not like no one's thought of it before. Beyond that, I don't know what they'll do, but it's the thought has existed. How's that? Dexter says, I wouldn't mind a pair of VRS, but I'm pleased to score a pair of AVS2s brand new. Cool. Yeah.
And those AVS2s, we get a lot of those in scratch and dent. People take them out of the box for whatever reason. So that will be, you'll have access to those also.
That's really cool, guys. That's a cool benefit. How hard is it to boost reference a VRS? Thumper asks.
there's things I can talk about on that and things I can't talk about on that because I just can't talk about some of that stuff. But it's yeah, I can't talk about that right now.
Yeah, no comment means in the works, means no comment, but you can theorize what you want.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's you theorize whatever you want. All I'm saying is that I know that the idea exists that somebody has at least thought it would be a good idea to play around with. Whether it'll happen or not, I have no idea. DNR says, I don't know what that is. Bow Laws. Oh, it's Bow Laws built 1085 CFM 4150 double pumper with annular boosters. I like a lot. Sounds like a pretty exotic carburetor.
Yeah, sounds expensive.
It does. 1085 is huge for a 4150. Yes. Like, is there any Venturi left in that thing?
It's probably all the way at the corners.
Don says, well, that's one above my pay grade. I do really think it's cool how you took that VRS off of your Slant 6 and put it on a big block.
Oh, yeah. No, we actually... Here's the truth on this is that VRS I have in that video, that VRS was on an LS engine that made 670 horsepower, 8,500 RPM, whatever it was. We literally took that off. We put it on a 350 Suburban. We went to lunch. We came home. I took that very carburetor off and put it on my Slant 6. Touched nothing.
The ABS2 is probably the most underrated carb on the market. They work well. Maybe a pair will end on a 318 and a TR5 some point in time. I can tell you, I've seen a lot of guys have success running that ABS2 on tunnel rams.
Yeah, they were great.
A fair number of them wind up on tunnel rams and work.
Yeah, it's an adjustable door that makes it just amazing, you know.
Levi says that the VRS design reminds him of the CNS blow through, or I guess he means alcohol carbs.
Yeah.
Maybe. Thumper says, I won a couple of 850s on E85 for the 871 going in my Pontiac.
Mm-hmm. I can tell you right now, it will absolutely work amazing for what you just said right there. Because I can talk about this. Since you're talking about putting it on top of a huffer, I can talk about that. So because of how long the Venturi is and the Bernoulli effect, how it goes through, you get a much stronger signal than you would with any other one. So the boost reference is amazing. We also use a combination of down leg boosters and annular boosters in there. And I think we've got, it's 18 holes, I think is what I actually have one right here. So this is one of the boosters out of the 850. So you can see, and it's got a secondary shelf inside there. This is all patented. And what that does is it creates a low pressure zone. So the boost signal is amazing. And normally when you have a big Venturi like this, you're going to have a little bit of pressure drop when you have another Venturi that goes around it. But because of how small those holes are in there and how that thing is set up, it really sends an amazing signal to it. So it's going to work. It works awesome.
Our folks, that's the only thing 18 holes related our folks care about. They are not golf people. Wrong Ward got my Christmas card New Year's Eve. You would not believe how long that took to get to you. I mailed them on time. The mail just moved like quicksand this year. But since Wrong Ward is here and we are here in our last shift, check this out. We have a new benefit to tell folks who are just getting here for the fourth quarter of this live stream. The Edelbrock Group has kindly, meaning these folks are right here, Edelbrock, CompCams, Fuel Air Spark Technology, TCI, Russell, and Lunati. They are going to be giving us our own website for registered No Name Nationals channels to log in and get discounts.
And it's a massive discount too.
It's a big discount. It's basically wholesale. I mean, that's pretty much what I'm gathering. And it's for registered channels for the No Name Nationals. Shane pulling parts out of thin air. Yes, he's good at that.
Yeah. Well, I do a lot of stuff. See, there's a strategicness to how my computer is set. So
Yes, you'll keep your registration number as long as you're re-registered by Labor Day. You should keep your same No Name Nationals number. Because I know all you guys are partial to your numbers, and I got to tell you, 2-digit numbers are just about extinct. There's very few left floating around out there in 2-digit numbers.
Wow.
We're going to be typically add about 25 numbers a year, so we'll probably be running up to 175 this year on car numbers.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's pretty good, man. You got to give, dude.
It's a lot of numbers.
Golf clap, man. That's awesome.
Anybody have any more questions? We got just a few minutes. We got 15 minutes left to go in the live, and this is a big deal. It's a big benefit perk for you guys who are registered. If you're not yet registered and you're going, especially if you're going to be buying parts soon anyway, it's a good time to go ahead and get registered. It should be live by February 1st, approximately, give or take. But when it does, we'll let you know. We'll walk you through the site and be emailing you credentials to get on. Ron is in the market for a Torker 383. Discounts are appreciated.
Okay. Low deck 383.
Is there going to be tech support for our ordering pleasure?
Yeah, we'll do a run through on it, or because John's going to have access to it too, so he can just basically do it on his live. Yeah. It's really, really simple.
We'll do a walkthrough.
Yeah,
not a problem. Not a problem. Well, Andy, this is a group effort. I mean, it takes everybody doing their stuff. I mean, it takes the people at the track. And we appreciate Professor P doing this. All the time he puts into the tech talk, all the time he spends outside of this with you guys on your individual stuff. All the stuff you do, Andy. I mean, all of you guys each contribute in your own way. Not only just being there, making your content, promoting the event. It's everybody's collective effort that makes this happen. Everybody's.
And one thing I really like about this group too that I've noticed is that, have you noticed that there's been kind of a shift in up to about, I'm going to say about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, if someone knew something, they would hold it and they would just write it down and not share any of that information with anyone else. What I think the benefits of YouTube, and especially this group, is as we learn things, we put it out there so that way you guys don't have to learn it and can move on with that and use that instead of having to discover it. So there's not rediscoveries of information. We're already starting at that point and moving on. So that's the biggest benefit I see.
Andy, thank you for the super chat. We greatly appreciate it. I never, panhandle for them here, but I can tell you this: any super chats that do come in go directly into the No Name Nationals.
Yeah, and for John, I'll do it for him. Keeps the lights on. There you go.
Yes. It is. Well, I will tell you though, like I don't take anything out, of prorated for anything, right? But that said, anything it'll contribute in some little way to the No Name National. So like topping off the fuel in the light plants, that $20 may go to that. Paying the bill, for sand in the pit, paying some bill for that event, it'll go toward it. That's typically what we do, but that's where my super chat money goes.
Yeah.
Ron says his high for Monday is going to be 11 degrees. He probably won't be producing videos on Monday. Well, that's okay.
That sounds terrible.
The weather should be really nice in 258 days and 2 hours and 11 minutes.
Right.
DNR's asking, Comp Cams has tool steel DLC coated flat tappet lifters also. Very expensive, like a higher end solid roller Iski or Morel.
Yes, exactly. But see, they're slightly different because they're DLC coated all the way around. They're not just DLC coated on the flat. That's the reason why they're super expensive. Plus, they're obviously tool steel. Those are more geared to circle track racers that have a flat tappet type of restriction or rule, and they're designed for 8,500, 9,000 type of RPM. That's why they're super expensive.
Yep. Check all your cold weather stuff. Get ready for winter. Check your antifreeze. I checked the antifreeze in the van the best way possible. I just took the radiator out of it.
Right? You know, one of the guys down the street did that, but he didn't end up draining the block, and it still cracked his block.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh, that
Felt bad
sucks.
for him. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to do that because what came out of it was not very green. Anybody else have anything else? We got a few minutes to go here. Thumper's been every October. Yeah. Well, one thing, where we are, we don't get quite enough cold. We get to be lazy like that because we only need antifreeze for about 2 months out of the year.
Yep.
So it kind of discourages us from being proactive like we should. Roy Boyce's great program, kind of jazzed up. Hey man, you could jump in the mix, get in the No Name 500 and participate, and make strides and race. It would be your first time as a participating channel. Might be your year.
Yeah.
What about the block? I'll get the block drained.
Does it start at all or no?
Oh, it'll start. I just don't have a coolant system on. I could do it that way.
Yeah, just basically drain it out, start it up a little bit, get it hot, and it'll burn that shit out.
Yeah, it's no problem. There's a couple different ways to skin that cat. We can do it. Yeah, we got an inch of snow here. We have the most snow we've had here in about 3 years. So.
Oh, you got snow right now?
I took this picture a couple hours ago. It's not even enough to cover the grass, but I mean, That's all the snow we've had in about 3-4 years.
Every year since I've been here, 2021 was my very first winter here, and we've had a minimum of 11 inches and shut down for a whole week. And they're like, this is unheard of. It's happened every year since I've been here.
So where I'm from is about 80 miles from here and has a lot more elevation. And when I was a kid, man, I remember 2 36-inch snows in 93 and 95. We had 3 feet of snow at one time. I remember having a 36-inch fence post and the snow was above the top of it. I've got a picture somewhere of 3 feet of snow on top of cars and everything else. I mean, I've seen that kind of snow. I've lived through it. I remember about 10 years ago, we had 1.5 feet of snow here. But it's just very uncommon for us to get any significant amount of snow here, at least in several years.
Wow.
John O'Brien just bought a salt and a shovel. It never snows here anymore. Yeah, Andy wouldn't have any snow. Andy gets less snow there than we do here.
Speaking of which, I'm that racing that you have there for Andy, you sent me the link for. Is that like a week event, or how is that working? If you could just send me a text of that, or if you want to comment here. But he has this thing at I'm not sure what drag strip it is.
The truck deal, Shady Side.
Yes.
Okay.
So they're doing like a drag and drive, and I'm not sure if it's just one event or if it's like mini events, so it's broken up, or is it like an actual week event?
Danny Boyd had snow drift to the gutter of his house in 1978. Indirect Connection says, we used to get feet of snow. Now we just get cold. The older I get, the less I can handle it. I hate the cold. Nothing about it do I ever get used to or enjoy. Mostly old parts wrong. Ward says, Shane, other than reliability, what can I expect from switching from a flat tappet hydraulic to a hydraulic roller in my 440?
Here's the thing though, is that it with a 904 lifter, there's really, I mean, you can gain some area under the curve or some parasitic loss you'll gain from that. But with a 904 lifter, as far as for the street, you're not going to gain a terrible amount of much. It's really for people like for Chevrolets with an 842. We've got small lifters, but with the 904 lifter, you can ramp them pretty fast. So gaining on them, you could gain more lift, but if you're running stock heads, then what's the point? And I know your engine, so I wouldn't worry about it. Just run the flat tappets.
BNR asks, is Edelbrock selling a true Pontiac V8 and Olds V8 lifter with correct oil band heights?
Absolutely. In fact, that's what we had to worry about on the DLC coded lifters, is that we have a BOP, with Buick Pontiac type of lifter. That's just for that with the band in the correct spot.
Andy says it's 3 days going to 2 tracks. So,
Okay.
So there you go.
That's a perfect event because it's not crazy long then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lars says he reminds people that we now have hoodies and hats for No Name Nationals. So have you seen those, Professor P?
Yes, I did.
Yeah,
I did see those.
Those are Gunslinger Graphics. We've got them there. You order direct. We of course keep T-shirts here. We do hats for here for people who say, for giveaways, stuff like that. But you can order our line at gunslingergraphics.com. There's the link, and it is hooded sweatshirt season right now. Dust Devil says, I'm looking for an Edelbrock Air Scoop. I think they were last made in the 90s. If anyone has one laying around, let me know. You talking about the bug catcher with Edelbrock on it, Brian? Yeah. Is that what he's talking about?
I think so. That would fit his car perfect too,
Yeah, man. That sounds cool, Andy. Sounds neat. Thumper says, I live in a hoodie from October to May. Me too. I'm a hoodie wearing dude.
I'm on a hoodie right now. It's my uniform.
I'm kind of conflicted though, because I love the drawstring because I hate getting the cold air in here. Yeah. But the drawstring is a no-no for those who live a martial lifestyle, because the last thing you want is a string between your hand and your pistol.
Got it.
So I'm conflicted about the string. Some of mine have a string, some don't, and that's exactly why. And that said, we got a few minutes left. I do want to plug something real quick for those of you who just get in here. I've had some people ask about me doing this for a while now, and I've never done it. I'm going to be having a live stream on Thursday, 7 Central, 8 Eastern, regular time that I go. But it'll be Thursday, and it'll have nothing to do with cars, nothing to do with No Name Nationals. It's going to be about my experiences as a firearm trainer and as a student for many years. Lots of great stuff in there, especially if you're learning how to be a better operator of your pistol, rifle, shotgun, or whatnot. So if you want to tune in for that, feel free to. Just tuck the string inside. Lasts for 5 minutes. BNR says, does that DLC last forever? I heard it does.
Forever is a very long word to say for that. I'm going to say it's a very, 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 very long life lifter. You can use those lifters on many different camshafts. So you can change cams, run same lifters.
I will give you a tip on that string, though. If you want to keep your string, I actually take that plastic shrink-wrapped end on it, and I recess it back in the braided cord so that it doesn't fray. It'll make the end on your string last longer without fraying. Ron asks, I can't find a part number for Lunati adjustable iron rockers online, but I can't find anyone who actually sells them for a 440. What gives?
Lunati is basically being restructured. So anything that had Lunati beforehand that was like valve train is actually going to be comp cams now. And Lunati is going to be basically all rotating assemblies. So cranks, rods, as of right now, maybe pistons later on down the road, but that's why. It's because a lot of those things were discontinued.
Andy says, thanks to Edelbrock stepping up and us making it happen. I will tell you, though, Andy, all I'm here for is just a little bit of administrative stuff to help Professor P do his thing. Give him the credit for this. He's pulled this together and made it happen for our folks, and I appreciate it. It's going to help people make a project happen that might not otherwise be there. But beyond that, it's going to help people keep money in their pockets and make stuff happen and get their goals and projects done. And I'm thrilled for them. BNR says 100,000. So now he's gone from forever to 100,000. So it's 100,000, maybe something DLC would last for.
Yes. Yeah.
That's maybe a reasonable conjecture.
I can tell you that we did them testing these. We did them at 10 million cycles on a Spintron, ranging from 2,500 RPM to 8,000 RPM and back down. And we did 10 million cycles doing that. So it will last an extreme amount of time. And we did it with bad oils. We did it with wrong spring pressures, with valve float, with many different problems. And they still lasted 10 million cycles and looked literally brand new.
And D says, this is very cool. I need to step up my channel. Well, if you want to step up your channel, we're giving you reasons to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So Busy says, shiny side up, take care. Dr. Go's got a shaft mount rocker question. Mixed shaft mount rocker arms. Oh, like 1.6 intakes and 1.5 exhaust. I don't know. But you know what? That would be a good question to ask before you get your cam done.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of times people will change the intakes because it's going to change your torque curve. So if you want to build a little bit more torque, you're going to go to 1.615. Also, too, it's going to help with your overlap. So getting off the corners. This is basically a circle track thing. They'll actually even change the rocker arm ratios on the outer four. So like say 1, 2, 7, and 8. And then they'll change the rocker arms on the center four. So yeah. You can do it.
Andy says, surprising how many car people run to firearms. Not really, but most of them like 1911s because they have 3 times as many parts and stuff they can mess with.
That's the truth.
So the DLC lifter would be a good choice for a stationary engine that runs at 1800 for weeks.
Yes.
What wouldn't be a good choice for something that runs at 1800 for weeks?
Yeah.
That's called a break-in.
Yeah, the beautiful thing about the DLC coated lifter, though, is that you can run them on a billet core. You don't have to have a cast iron core. So you can run it on your copper core that you had roller lifters on. You just can reprofile it. And so there's no, we can do anything on round lobes because it's a round lobe. You can make whatever firing order you want. You can do whatever you want to it.
And with that, guys, we're at our time. Thanks for coming out. If you want to continue more of these tech questions, here's a great place to do it. The Tech Talk Live every Wednesday on the American Hot Rod Association channel with Dallas and Professor P. And that's a great place to go ask those questions. You're going to see more of this this benefit right here. We will be talking about that in the weeks to come. And don't forget about my special live on Thursday if you have any interest in it. But regardless, I'll be back next Friday. And we'll do more good stuff with the full community talking car stuff as usual. But with that, we're out. I'll see you guys again soon. Thanks for coming out.
Guys, have a good week.